Doty. We'll be back in a little bit. But in the top left position is Makin. Excuse me, as the teal Terran. And in the bottom position is Spaniard. As the brown Protoss, and I don't know for sure, but my first guess is this LRM Spaniard? It might be.
Alright, I'm back.
You're back.
Oh yeah, this is from the guy from LI, I'm pretty sure. He spells it like the LIM guy does, and he's also Protoss.
Yeah, I was just saying that. This is a new guy, LRM Spaniard, who I think is a clan leader. And
yeah,
I mean, I've seen him around. I've seen him in chats for various casts of things, and I've seen him on the forums, but I don't know who he is. Do you know anything about him?
I knew him back then when I was in LIM for a couple of years. It was 2, I think, but I haven't had doing too much with him. He wasn't too active back then, so I don't know him a lot as a person, but I've seen 1 or 2 replays from him, and he's not too bad. And he's gas stealing, so I like that.
Man, it's been too long since I've seen a good old-fashioned genuine gas steal. Aw, yeah. So, I didn't realize he was in LRM. Excuse me, I didn't realize he was in LRM for that long. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think he's in there for very long. At least when I was in there, and that was like 2010 or something. Obviously that would be 2 years and not too long, but I think he was in there very long before. Never mind. And he decides to go for an early Zealot, which will be very strong since the Terran is doing the barracks in the front without doing any kind of wall in.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on that. That's a really weird position for the barracks. I'm not opposed to having the barracks on the high ground, but you want the barracks down here so you can make a wall. Instead, he's going to build a supply depot up top that is going to make a wall with the supply depot in the barracks that he can fit Marines through in the ghetto bunker, but there's nothing to stop the Zealots from just running by it.
Yeah,
and
that's the deal.
Wow. The assimilator goes down and Spaniard rebuilds it. This is going to be a very, very delayed gas. The Marine actually is coming back to try to deal with the probe, but that means that he's not going to be by the bunker. There's a real bunker going down. I don't know what the purpose of having your building situated like this if you're just going to build a bunker anyway. But really, Spaniard with this aggression is looking very strong at this point, and Makin's having a lot of trouble dealing with it. The Zealot does go down, though, after only getting a single kill. The probe goes down as well, and the assimilator follows.
This could have gone a lot better for the Protoss. I personally, if I have seen he did such a weak wall in, I would have at least built 2 or 3 Zealots and just keep pressure on his tech. Like, as you said, you can easily run through this wall and just deny his factory as long as you can, go up for a second gateway with range and just bust the front before you get his first tank. But yeah, he didn't decide to go further Zealots, so yeah.
I'm under the impression that if you're going to gas steal twice and delay that factory that long, you might as well just go 2-gate. Just 2-gate and build lots of Zealots after that. I mean, it's kind of not worth the extra 100 minerals, because he did let it finish. I don't think it's worth the extra 100 minerals at that point to continue to delay it if you're not also going to be bringing aggression. Usually the gas, in my opinion, then there are obviously different theories about this. In my opinion, the gas deal is not worth it, and manor pylons are not worth it unless you bring a zealot, and the zealot distracts the first marine or the first a zealot of your opponent. It distracts them and prevents them from actually taking out the pylon effectively. If you don't bring that extra zealot, they just kill it off, and then it might be barely better, but I don't know. I don't know why there's 2 bunkers. I certainly don't know that. Dodie,
Yes.
why did he build 2 bunkers?
This is pretty rare, but some turns tend to do so. Now this,
He built...
yeah,
That marine died because it was trying to get into the bunker, but it was already filled. But there was another bunker that the marine could have gone into. That's why you have another bunker for the excess marines, but no, just gonna do that open. I don't know. I guess the security bunker, in case he fucks it up and lets the first bunker die, then it's like, aha, I don't care at all. I'll just go to my backup bunker.
yes, that was the intention why he did so, I think.
I guess. Lots of goons coming in, though. We have 4 at the front and another 3 to make a total of 7. The first siege tank is on the way along with siege mode. But with 7 goons, it's still going to be dangerous. I don't know where the siege tank can siege up. That's really protected from the goons here. It's just not a very solid wall in the front. I think that if the tank gets close enough to start attacking the goons, that many goons can easily step forward and snipe the tank. And more SCVs need to be pulled here from Makin. He's now trying to attack with the tank a little bit. One of those goons needs to be pulled away. Oh, Spaniard, you can keep attacking. It's only going to be able to hit one of them. And now all the Dragoons are moving forward again, sniping an SCV and backing off. It was only shield damage, so good move.
Yeah, this can be a pretty strong move as well. Many Terrans feel safe when they got a couple of SCV around the bunker. But as long as the Terran only has, 1 tank or maybe even none, you can just run in with your mass goon, kill all SCVs and then take care of the bunker. Many Terrans also haven't even got 4 in the bunker, so they feel safe with like 2 or 3. So yeah, that can win you games fast as well. Not in this case, obviously, but...
Man. Makin's throwing down turrets. I don't know how... I don't know how he could have scouted it out, but he's putting a really strong defense up for the Reaver.
Yeah, that looks good, definitely.
The Reaver can't fly this way. Like, if it flies just straight in, the shuttle will die. He can drop the Reaver, but then the Reaver's just not worth it. He has to come in from this angle, really. I think that this is the only hole. You have to, between this turret and this turret. Unless you want to go way up at the top here. I guess that could work too, if you come all the way behind the refinery in the natural. But...
yeah, you could also just drop the Reaver below these 2 turrets and kill one and then load in again and fly in, but... yeah, you gotta be fast for that and realize in time there are turrets anyway. So we'll see if he decides to do so. He is flying that way, so we find out soon.
Well, shuttle is seen by the eBay. Spaniard hasn't scouted out those turrets yet, so if he's not paying attention, he could easily fly into them. And, ooh, maybe he did see one of those turrets with the Dragoon, because he was already ready to drop that Reaver before the turret was in vision range. And
that's stupid to kill the other turret. He could just fly through and take care of the economy before the tanks move back. Now the tanks are there and can take care of the drop.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard at this point. There's a lot of Marines there, and the Marines are also just going to force the shuttle away. But while the tanks are distracted...
Smart move, he's busting the front.
Yeah, the tanks are distracted, so he's moving in with the rest of his forces. One of the bunkers goes down. There's still another bunker, but all of the... Oh! That was a nice Scarab. It didn't kill anything, but it did lots of damage to those siege tanks and to the Marines. And now all the Dragoons get to get in there and finish off the very injured tanks. There goes one injured tank. There goes another tank. There goes all of the tanks. There's 2 tanks down at the bottom of the ramp. But man, Spaniard is committing a lot to this attack. Will he get the payoff he's looking for? He lost his Reaver. He lost 6 Dragoons or so. He's lost all of his Zealots. And it's just 3 Dragoons left. No reaction from Makin. Kind of just allowing these Dragoons to pick off SCVs. Now a tank's coming in and needs to back off there. A little bit too close. He does have siege mode. There we go. Siege moding up. And all those Dragoons will die. Dodie, was it enough?
I like the move a lot. I was wondering, yeah, as I said, why he took care about the second turret and not just try to get some economy before the tanks move back. But I feel like he wanted the tank to move back and then bust the front. So I'd like the idea, but I think he lost too much and will now have a big problem if the Terran decides to go for a counter push. But seems like he just want to go on expanding, so we'll see. I think a push would be pretty hard for him to hold right now. Maybe even impossible, I don't know. I don't think we will find that out.
To be fair, what you initially said was right. If he did go for the SCVs, he could have had the best of both worlds and get a couple shots off the SCVs, and then the tanks would be pulled out of position anyway. He could have totally done both with that.
Yeah, okay, that's true. You're right.
So, yeah, it was a little bit of a lost opportunity in terms of no harass with the Reaver, just using the Reaver as part of the bust attempt. But, yeah, I think that this game is far from decided.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty open.
All right. Speed on the way, Templar Archives on the way, and a pretty solid army. Whoa. Double shuttle?
Oh.
It's kind of weird. Alright. Well, how else are you going to deal with the double bunker, unless you have a double shuttle?
One bunker is dead, so...
Yeah, shut up, Daddy. You're ruining this for me.
So that would be unfair to use 2 shuttles against it. But again, I'm wondering why Terran isn't building more factories. He also, like the Terran, the game on match point, only have 3 factories. Okay. Already has 2 bases, so he could easily add like 3 or 4 to get a nice macro up. But yeah. Therefore, Spaniard is adding 4 gateways in a pretty nice timing, I think, so that makes me happy.
This building placement is hype.
Yeah, that looks cool.
It's awesome. Like, he needs 1 more gateway to make 5 on the bottom, so it's symmetrical. But other than that, like, it's awesome. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just aesthetically pleasing. Alright.
Yeah, it somehow looks special. I know what you mean.
Well, 4 High Templars out and now getting Storm for him. So, I guess you can have 1 shuttle for storm drops and 1 shuttle for dealing with the army? I guess you don't have to make that decision. Or you could just go for double storm drop harass. I want to see him pull off double storm drop harass.
That would be epic.
Yes. Do it. Science Hustle on the way. EMP on the way. And now adding on a 5th factory. Yes, that's going to be the 5th factory. So on Jade, it's very easy to get up to 3 bases as Terran. But after 3 bases, base 4 becomes very difficult.
Yeah, I believe that looks pretty tough.
So he is starting it at top right. And Spaniard can easily shut that down if he notices it. But if he gives Makin enough time to settle in, and, if he gives him enough time to settle in and really get that base fortified with some supply depots and some siege tanks, Spaniard's blowing a huge advantage he has on this map for Protoss. Of just, oh man, big mine hit, hitting a lot of those goons, killing 1. But yeah, he's blowing a big advantage that Protoss has on this map in not stopping that expansion. It does look like he's going to shut it down though with some speed lots, which is good. Something he needs to be mindful of.
Now Terran finally is adding a lot of factories. I think he realized
Oh.
he can't spend all his money in only a couple of factories.
He's adding that 5th gateway. Oh, it's so symmetrical. Fucking awesome. Yo. Spaniard. I'm liking Spaniard. Okay. So, Protoss is going to be taking this 4th base, quite possibly a 5th base, once those mines are cleared out. And it looks like Makin floated a command center over. Apparently he did. Just want to make sure he didn't lift off one of the command centers he had, but no, he built one here and floated it all the way out. So the expo at the 4th is down. SCVs are transferring over, but an observer there as well. So Spaniard will probably not let that go very long.
Spaniard is doing some Jade style on his natural ramp.
Oh, sick. Sick. Not exclusive to... excuse me, not exclusive to Zerg. Was that... that wasn't on this map, was it?
No, it was on... oh, how is that map called? I got it in front of...
Outlier?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yes, that was...
I knew
that
it was a blue tile set. I remember blue tile set, and it was bottom left. But it was bottom left where the ramp was at the bottom of the base, not at the top of the base.
That was so awesome. The second he realized that the Koreans were going so crazy, and he could just like A-move all those units and kill the Protoss. That was so sick.
Oh man, he almost won the game without half of his army.
Yeah,
that was awesome about that game.
Yeah.
Oh, the mines! Stop going forward into mines! Spaniard, just a little part of his army getting caught out, and Makin has this huge force here. He's essentially maxed and has somehow managed to pull ahead in supply against the Protoss, despite not winning any engagements here. This is not a good position for Protoss, as Protoss was not able to slow down this push. It just was here immediately. Oh, man.
Which that looks so hurtful.
Missed the storm drop on the 3rd. My bad. But this is more important at this point, because the storm drop doesn't matter if this push is able to win, and this is looking way too strong to deal with for Protoss in any situation. It's just so many tanks. There's not a whole lot of vultures, but he's in a position where he doesn't need as many vultures as he would out in the middle of the map. You have terrain to absorb a lot of damage for you, or not absorb damage, but prevent Protoss from doing damage to the tanks. Another D-Matrix on the front siege tank. Gonna keep that one alive a little longer, and oh, so many goons. So many goons. This is bad. This is very bad for Spaniard. I think the carrier transition's a little bit late.
Yeah.
I don't think that's quite gonna work out for him. I was wondering why the Spaniard was... well, I don't know. He didn't invest that much. He hasn't actually started carrier production. He doesn't have that much saved up for carriers. Maybe he could have got a little bit more stuff out. But I don't know. I think that Spaniard was focused on so many other little things that he forgot about the most important thing. The really big Terran army that was just able to cross the map very quickly. And when Terran gets a free path from his main to your main, and you don't do anything at all to stop him, that's just too easy of a win for Terran in most situations.
That's what I wanted to say too. As a Protoss in PvT, you have to deny the push as long as you can. Attack, let him siege, run back. Attack, let him siege, run back, and do that like until you can't like delay it any further and then fight. But he just let him run through to his natural, and that was... I think he won't have had enough units in this case anyway, but yeah, that's something you should definitely care about.
Oh. Yo, Makin can't see this, but he can't see all the pretty architecture he's blowing up right now. If he knew about what was going on here, he would not be attacking those gateways. I tell you what. Alright. Well, these units for Protoss are just gonna get picked off immediately when coming up the ramp, and no damage will be done. It's 34 supply, 33 supply for Protoss compared to max Terran. Yeah, but lost both of his other expansions. But it's fine, because he has a carrier. And
Wow,
there are no
okay.
Goliaths, so you know what? Let's go, man. You want some refugee toss? How about some 29 supply, no mining base refugee toss? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see a nice comeback coming. Let's see.
Definitely. Makin, banking 4K, 2K, because he's maxed.
Whoa, one carrier is flying into the turrets.
'Kay.
Without, yeah,
So
he's
that's his
attacking.
only anti-air, and you're flying directly into it.
Yeah.
Not the best use of carriers I've seen before, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It makes the comeback more dramatic if the carrier is all yellow and red.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, no.
Just did you play?
Oh, okay, it's fine though. He blew up 2 gateways, but he blew up 2 gateways symmetrically. So now it's like a big ass happy face.
Yeah,
It's like
awesome.
eye, smile, nose. Okay, I'm cool. He was selective in his destruction. I don't have to scold Makin in